Welcome back to Gadget Class. Please take your seats and get ready to be schooled. Today we're reviewing a LumSing 6000 milliamp hour portable battery bank. These are great for charging your cell phone or any USB powered device while you're on the go. Whether you're on a plane trip, you're going camping, you're in a long car ride, anywhere where you're going to be away from power long enough that you think your phone might die, this is a great device to have. Very simple operation. You just press the button and it'll immediately look for a current draw and start sending power. In the box you get your charger. You get a nice velveteen, a nice plush, soft drawstring bag for it. Get your user manual. The first 4 or 5 pages are in English and they are perfectly readable and relevant. Then you get a customer loyalty card and a micro USB patch cable or charging cable for connecting your devices. So everything you need to get started is included. Nice attractive box design. It's kind of like earth friendly. It's got like this drawstring cord there, or like a natural fiber hanging cord, and then it kind of accordions all together with this piece of foam being the only non-recyclable piece in the package. So I like the packaging, very clean and elegant. So let's take a look at the device. I have tested it. I did a full 1 amp constant current load resistor test on it, and my reading came out to 4152 milliamp hours. Now, to get your actual reading, you have to account for voltage loss between the internal LiPo cells and upstepping to 5 volts. So you multiply that by 1.35 volts and you get 5605. So we're within 400 milliamp hours of the stated 6000 milliamp hour rating, which is perfectly good. So let's take an up close look at this thing here. It's got a nice brushed aluminum housing. Very simple device. There's not much to it, so they kept it clean and simple. And on the top here, you've got your 2.1 amp port and your 1 amp port, as well as your charging port. And to use it, all you do is press the power button. If it sees a current draw, it'll immediately start sending power. If there is no current draw, it'll just shut itself off. So let's go ahead and test the output here, just to show you guys what it can do. I'm going to plug in my constant current load resistor here. And this will allow me to set whatever amp current draw I want. So I'm going to go ahead and set it to, I believe, the 2.1 amp port. I got up to the max, like 2.5. Let's go ahead and set it to that mode there. There's 2.15, 2.23, 2.36. 2.49 amps, and we're down to 4.61, 4.65 volts, but at 2.49 amps, that's actually pretty good, and it's still manageable, still perfectly good. So let's go ahead and set this down to 1 amp, and we'll go check the 1 amp port. Most devices, even if they say they've got like a 1 amp and a 2 amp output, it's kind of a gimmick. Most devices, I mean, every device is only going to suck what it can suck anyways. Like your phone probably sucks about 1 amp at the most. So when you see a 2 amp and a 1 amp charging port, most of the time you're not even going to be pulling 1 amp. So it's not that big of a deal. Okay, here's our 1 amp side. Go ahead and set that to amp view mode. And I believe I got up to 2.1 amps on the 1 amp port. So just under 2 amps there. So that means the 1 amp port will be perfectly plenty to power any smartphone. Most smartphones never see 2 amps anyways. There we go, 2.1 amps. So it outputs plenty of amps on both circuits. Don't worry about which one you plug it into unless you're plugging in something other than a cell phone that likes to draw way more than 2 amps, which is very few devices actually do that. So if you're going to charge something at higher than 2 amps, use the 2.1 amp port. Other than that, it's good to go. I have not found any issues with it. It did seem like after it sat for 2 weeks, I charged it up and I let it set. It did draw down the power a little bit. I had to charge it back up. So, you know, might want to keep an eye on power drain over long storage. You might want to charge it up every now and then, or charge it up right before you leave on your long trip. So overall, I'm going to give it a 4.5 out of 5. I couldn't find anything wrong with it. My only complaint is that I always like to see more power, but in order to get more power in there, they would have had to make it bigger. So it's a great device, and I would highly recommend it. Make sure you hit yes for found this review helpful, hit the thumbs up button, and subscribe to the YouTube channel.